Good afternoon, Spoon Universe. It's Mallory Diekman here from Spoon K-State. So today we're going to do a very iconic dish that was a part of a lot of people's childhood, whether you wanted it there or not. And that is the Krabby Patty. I mean, I know there's a secret formula somewhere down the road, but I have my own secret formula, whatever that word is, and I'm going to share it with you all today. So the beginning of that is actually going to be making our own bread, our own buns for that. Bread takes a long time to rise, usually because of the yeast and everything, but these are going to be quick dinner rolls, so they're only going to take about an hour to make, which sounds like a long time, but in bread world, that's a very short amount. The first thing we're going to start with is 1.5 cups of flour, and then I have 1 packet of dry active yeast. By the way, before I forget, if you have any questions as we go along, please ask them. I am here as your library to answer, if I can, and I will make something up if I don't. Just kidding. Okay, so now we're going to add some sugar and 2 tablespoons of honey. The honey is basically the food for the yeast, and that's how we're going to get it to rise and to actually work for us. And the honey and the sugar have become one, but we're getting it. Okay, we got this. So 2 tablespoons of honey and a teaspoon of salt, and we're just going to kind of dry mix that together. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil and a beaten egg. The honey is going to make this a little bit sweet, which will be nice, and it's very complimentary of the olive oil with the savory notes that it has. Kind of just mixing this very roughly as well. It looks not like bread at all, but we're going to get there. The next step is hot water.
Leon asks, are you actually using crab in the Krabby Patty?
No, there are no crabs harmed in Krabby Patties. Do not worry. They're named Krabby Patty because of Mr. Crab. And Mr. Krabs, I think there was an S in his name. And that is how they came to be. These are actually just basically hamburgers, but there's a secret sauce in them. And they're loaded up with all kinds of tomatoes and onions and pickles. And it's just the quintessential perfect burger. But we're going to make ours miniature to make them fun. And then you could have them at like a dinner party or something. Or if you just want to feel fancy, as a lot of people do. All right, so we added the hot water right from the faucet to make sure it was really hot, because that's really going to create the reaction that we want out of the yeast. So now that that's stirred in, we're going to add 1 more cup of flour. And we're just going to we don't want to overwork this because the bread will become very tough, but we really want to get it incorporated as much as we can. And this plastic bowl is probably going to have some dough all over it and sticking it. In order to prevent that, you could grease it with some butter beforehand or some olive oil. But I don't mind playing with my food, making a mess. I wore black here on purpose so we can have flour everywhere. And you will get to see the flour.
Tony asks, how did you learn to do this?
My grandma actually taught me how to make homemade bread the first time. Grandma Judy, I think she's out there watching. She has a Facebook, like all the grandmas do. And that's the first time I learned how to make homemade bread. Then I've kind of adapted it over the years to make it a little faster, more accessible as college students. But she would make bread, and it would rise all night. And in the morning, we'd have homemade cinnamon bread, sometimes caramel rolls. We did that in the morning of Christmas and stuff. It's no better smell to wake up to. All right, so this is what our dough looks like. Now it's going to have to start to rise. So in order to make that work, look, this is fun. It's messy. We're going to put a cloth over it, and we're going to put it in a warm place. Over the oven works if your oven is on, or just anywhere high up that it's going to start rising. After 30 minutes of rising, we're going to put it into muffin tins. It will rise for 20 more minutes, and then it goes in the oven at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. So it only takes an hour to make, but we don't have an hour today. So thankfully, like the magic of the Food Network, I already have some rolls done. So this is what they look like after they rise twice and they bake. And the key to that perfect golden crust on top is an egg wash. So you just beat up an egg, and then you brush it over the top of it and put it in the oven right before you put it in the oven, and that will give you a beautiful crust. You could sprinkle sesame seeds on top of here, poppy seeds, really anything that you want to make it look like a cool hamburger.
Derek and Rachel asked, did you steal the secret formula, or did you get it from Mr. Krabs or Plankton?
Well, I'm pretty good friends with all of them, but I don't believe in beating around the bush with Plankton, so I went right to Mr. Krabs, and he wouldn't give it to me, so I just had to make my own secret formula up, and we'll decide who's better. That's our job, right? All right, so the next step we're going to do is make homemade pickles. This is something that my mom used to do growing up. We would grow pickles. We'd grow cucumbers, which she used to make into pickles, and we'd have so many left over that we couldn't eat them fast enough. And this quick pickle, a quickle, if you will, is a really good way to use up the cucumbers so that they don't go bad, because the vinegar is going to keep their shelf life a little bit longer. So what I'm starting with here in my small saucepan is some rice vinegar. You could use any kind of vinegar you like, anything like a white vinegar, white balsamic, white wine vinegar, any of those work. And I have about 4 tablespoons in here. And I've got a medium-high heat going on my burner. And then this is my little spice bouquet. We have some sugar and salt. Those are the key ingredients in this pickle. Then I also added some black pepper and then some onion and garlic just to give it a little more flavor. You could add mustard seed if you have them. I don't have them in my minimal college kitchen, but if you could even add just like a little bit of mustard if you want to get that nice spicy flavor. You could add jalapenos or something like that if you want to do a spicy pickle. My family would always slice onions and put that in there as well, which you could definitely do, but I added a little onion powder, so we'll still get that flavor in it.
What type of bread would we use if someone didn't have time to make their own bread?
Yeah, of course. You could really do anything. If you wanted to do more of like a patty melt style, you could do a sourdough bread or anything like that. Otherwise, you could just buy dinner rolls from the store. Usually they come in, like a pack of 12, and they're pretty decent and cheap. But if you also made sliders like what we're doing today, if you didn't have hamburger buns, you could use hot dog buns and cut them up into thirds, and then you kind of have a slider bun. But if you got to use whatever you have available, that's the key to life. So we're gonna cook this pickle just until the sugar and salt dissolve, and it's gonna start to boil. And then we're gonna put our sliced cucumbers in there. And I sliced the cucumbers pretty thin just because it's a quick pickle. We want the vinegar to get into the cucumbers as fast as possible and start to soften them a little bit. And this is an English cucumber, which basically means that it's seedless, but there's still some seeds because it is a vegetable in the end. But they're a lot more, they're less noticeable, I guess you could say. If you wanted to do smaller Kirby cucumbers, those work really well too. The nice thing about English cucumbers and Kirby cucumbers is that the skin is it's not as thick, so you can actually eat it, and it's a comfortable enjoyment to eat. So we're going to put our cucumbers in our pickling liquid, and just kind of, the vinegar will hit you. It's okay, it cleans the sinuses, that's great. That just means that it's working, and it's a pickle, and it's going to work great with our cucumbers. So these are going to set at room temperature. You can put them in the fridge. I think pickles are best served cold, but whatever you prefer. And they only take about like 20 minutes to cool down. But once again, with the magic of planning ahead, I have some pickles somewhere. Here they are, that I already did. I did these about an hour ago, and then I just put them in the fridge afterwards. Got that crunch, nice acidity, and you can see too, you saw some of the black pepper, and that will give you a nice spicy bite too. And if you don't want any of the spices and the actual specks on your cucumbers, or now pickles, you could strain it and then make sure that it's just the pickling liquid. But these will be used later for our sandwiches.
What pickles would you suggest if they can't make their own?
Yeah, you could use any kind of, I like dill pickles personally, those are really good. And you can buy them sliced this size, or you could just buy like baby dills and slice them up yourself. Or if you're not interested in mini food, you could just get regular pickles too. Bread and butter pickles would be really good too. I like the bite and the acidity that come with dill pickles in this homemade pickling liquid, but really whatever you have in your fridge or in your friend's fridge or accessible in the grocery store, go for it. It may all work. All right, so now we're going to start assembling and making our Krabby Patties. And my friend Grant is actually going to come and help us. He's a cook at a local restaurant, so he knows what he's doing. Buffalo Wild Wings. He's got it going on. Okay, so before we can get to any of the vegetables, I'm going to reveal the secret formula for the secret sauce. And this is like what makes the Krabby Patties what they are, you know what I mean? Yeah. This is a big thing. And I'm just sharing it with you and everyone that's watching at home. But, here we go for it, okay? So in this bowl, I have some Greek yogurt. You could also use mayo, but I like the acidity in Greek yogurt. You could use sour cream too, anything like that. You just want a nice creamy thing to start your base off of. Then I also have some sriracha, black pepper, and Worcestershire sauce. which is the one that's like Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
That's what this is. You can do the honors of mixing this sauce. And right now it's just basic ingredients, but once it becomes, it's a real thing.
Okay.
You can also use ketchup if you don't like spicy sauces, but I'm for the sriracha. If you need to use the spoon, it's there for you.
Okay.
Go for it. I'm going to start heating our pan. This is a big deal.
It's so secretive.
It's very secretive. No one, except for everyone watching, knows what's going on.
How do these burgers compare to the ones you usually make at Buffalo Wild Wings, Grant?
Well, not to trash Buffalo Wild Wings, but they don't have a secret sauce. So,
This is true.
it's gonna be great. I got some mad mixing skills.
That sauce looks pretty bomb. It's all because of the mixer, though.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do with me. All right, so I'm heating up a pan right now on medium-high heat. And I have 12 ounces of ground beef here. This is 85-15. And if you ever see those numbers next to each other with ground meat, it's what the fat to protein ratio is. So these are 85% protein and 15% fat. And you need that fat to get a nice juicy burger. You can go more or less depending on your health wants and needs. You could also do ground turkey if you want something a little healthier, or black bean burgers or anything like that too, depending on what you're feeling for your Krabby Patty night. You know, pretty good. And I made these into mini sliders, so they're each about 1.5 ounces. And I took the burgers. Okay, if you don't like ground meat, don't look for 1 second. But I took the burgers and I put my thumb in the middle like this, because when burgers cook, they actually rise in the center, and I want a nice even burger, so I put a little indent in that. And I made them nice little softings. And you could add something to the burgers if you want a little bit of, like, I don't know, you could put cheese in the burger too. That's a Juicy Lucy. In Minnesota, there's a place called The Nook, and they put cheese inside 2 burgers. And then when you bite into it, the cheese is on the inside. So it's an In-N-Out burger instead, But we're just going to put the cheese on the outside, like.
Still sounds good.
Yeah, I think so. All right, let's heat this up. And you can also do a grill if you have a grill. I don't have a grill here. If you have a grill pan, like those fancy people. I don't have that either, so I just have a nice non-stick skillet from my mom. Thanks, Mom.
Do you like to cook at home, Grant?
No, I'm not good at cooking. That's why I have good friends like Mallory, who can show me this.
My secret formulas. The sizzle, that's what we want. That's going to give us a nice crust. And because my skillet's non-stick, I didn't add any oil or butter or anything on the bottom. We recommend that you grease the pan with some non-stick spray or something beforehand.
Do you have more than just this one secret recipe then?
I think I've got some more in my vault that I'm excited to share with Spoon Universe.
Sweet.
Today, Spoon Universe. Tomorrow, the universe. You never know. Okay, we also don't want to crowd our pan when we're making any kind of meat like this, because we want that nice sear. That's what makes a good burger, I think, is having the good sear. And if you crowd it too much, then it's going to be like, more like a sad meatball versus like a nice burger. All right, you want to start cutting veggies while I finish the burgers?
Yes.
We have a nice couple. You're just putting it right in front. The secret sauce is important, but we got to work on some veggies first. So we have some grape tomatoes, because there's like smaller tomatoes because of our mini buns. And then we also have, these are called broiler onions. You totally can use whatever onion or shallot or any kind of tomato that you have. I just thought it'd be fun to make it mini. And this was only like 8 cents because they sell them in bulk. So it really was good. Then we have some lettuce, but you don't have to cut that. Just the
Okay.
How do you like your burgers cooked?
Medium.
Same. Cook them to your preference, friends. My mom, if she was here, would be well done. That's how the house was.
There's a question. How would you add beer to this?
Beer. Okay,
Yeah.
well, burgers and beer go great together. If you got a Stella at home, if you're of age, if you got a Stella at home, that's a good one. You could also add, if you wanted to do like, okay, these are looking really good and crusty. I wish I had golden factor, but mine is silver. If you wanted to change it up a little bit, you could do like a beer cheese sauce instead of just melting cheese on top. That would be really good. You could add a little bit of beer to your actual burgers, but you want them to stay together, and if you add too much liquid, they'll fall apart. Okay, now that I've flipped the burgers, and I'm going to pull them off the burner. Oh gosh, that's my smoke alarm. I'm going to hit that. Hold on, friends.
It's lit.
Okay. The beauty of live TV. Now that we have the burgers, I'm going to put some cheese. I'm also going to turn down my heat. But thankfully, I can just press that button and it goes away. So we're going to just put some, this is just sharp cheddar cheese right on top. Whatever your preference is, though, is really good. I'm just going to...
Isabella asked, can you make this with bean burgers?
Yeah, veggie burgers would be really good. You could do black bean burgers. You could do, I think there's like quinoa burgers now too. Whatever you're feeling, the inspiration is all there. I'm giving you the basis, the basic secret formula, and you can just change it up however you please, you know? Okay. You did a great job of cutting those.
Andrea asked, do you guys know any Spongebob songs, and will you sing them?
Isn't there one that's like, the Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza? No. He like sings it. It's like, look, we have him with us. He's holding a pizza box, and Squidward is next to him. He's wearing his hat. I think that's an episode. See, my brother watched SpongeBob. I didn't, but I like heard it all the time. What other songs are there? You guys send the request in. What songs do you want to hear?
There's an opening song. Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob Squarepants.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do with our buns. Look how nice and fluffy those are. If you would like to grill your buns, we would do that a lot at my house. Put a little bit of butter on there and put it in the pan or on your grill. That's always a good option. You get a nice little crust on the outside.
Your requests are pouring in, and most of them are the campfire song.
This is
like
the camp
F is
for
no.
friends who stuff
No, that's
together.
not
Is that
it.
it? I don't know them.
I don't really know.
Start helping us, friends. What is the song? How does it start? No one
I think
knows.
I feel like it's the F is for friends who do stuff together song.
Look at our little mini burgers. See, the burgers also shrink when you cook them. So I made them a little bit bigger than the bun, and now they're the exact size of the bun. You got that melted cheese. You could do any cheese. Pepper jack is always good if you like a little spicy. You could do like an Italian one with like tomato and then do mozzarella.
Gouda. Gotta love
My
that
favorite, Gouda. She's the man. Good movie. Okay, let's build these burgers.
Okay.
Your sauce, go for it.
Just go on the bun.
Yeah, I put it on the bun, and you put it on like top and bottom because we have the burger. It's gonna do justice to our bun on that side. Smells real good. I'm gonna grab.
Makes it pretty perfectly, if I do say so myself.
It's all in the mixing for sure. Okay, and then we have our little pickles. Oh look, they're mini. Pickles. That's a song. I don't think it's in SpongeBob, but I wrote that one.
I don't think that's a song.
It's my song, Grant. Gosh, just kidding. Okay, that is. I don't know what the proper like order of a burger is.
LTO burger cheese.
Does that mean the lettuce goes this way?
It goes
okay?
underneath the burger.
Oh.
Like lettuce, tomato, onion.
So the burger's not supposed
The
to
burger
go
doesn't go
bottom.
first.
See, this is why we bring the Buffalo Wild Wings
Yeah.
Manhattan, Kansas cook with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to set the burger on the side.
I got fired though, so.
Right. It's because he gave out these secret formulas to
Yeah.
us about how to do a burger. Okay, there's the tomato,
Mm-hmm.
and then the onion, and then the burger.
Yes.
Okay, and then the
And
pickles
then
and
the-
the sauce?
Yeah.
That counts? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This looks so
Perfect.
good. Oh my gosh. If I had like a toothpick, that'd be good. You could make these even more miniature and then serve them at like a dinner party and be fancy. Okay. There's my burger and my pickles. Okay, you ready for this? Wait here. I'll move this out of your way. I don't want... Okay, it's okay. We saved him. We saved him. We're good. Okay, this is going to be a big bite. I don't know how I'm going to...
Ooh,
Yep,
it's juicy.
That's when you know it's a good burger. Okay.
Ready?
Just going. Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm. I still have dough from my bread on my hand.
The pickles are really good.
Thanks. Let's see if we can get it. You see it, friends? That's medium. I got a little over medium, but we still have a little bit of pink left. They're small, so it's hard. A little hot. You good?
I dribbled on the table.
He hit it with his plate. Wow, good, good.
How's the secret formula sauce?
I think the sauce makes it. It's the homemade pickles and the
Mhm.
sauce that really makes what we got going on here. Do you guys have any other questions? I don't know any more SpongeBob songs, but I can try to make one up.
Can Grant eat the whole thing in one bite?
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they asked you and not me, because I wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah, we have questions from Montel. What kind of sides would be good to go with this?
I'm gonna let him chew. I'll tell you about sides. We could do a nice salad if you want, nice and fresh. You could do French fries. You could bake your French fries too if you don't have a fryer, or just get some frozen fries. Those are always good. You could do like sweet potato fries too. That'd be delicious. A baked potato, tater tots, onion rings, all the standard things, which you can always do at home, but you can always buy them frozen too.
They should all be miniature.
Yes, naturally. Why would you? Or if you wanted to be crazy, you could have like one giant French fry and then the mini burger. That'd be like a nice, I don't know, different thing.
Done.
Good job.
Do you
I'm proud of
recommend shoving the whole thing in your mouth?
If it had more sauce on it, yes.
I was just nervous because you were laughing and then you could have choked to death right here on live Facebook.
Yeah.
All right, friends. Well, I'm going to finish my burger. I'm going to have to make him another one because he ate it all. But thankfully, they're mini, so we got tons more. We'll see you next week here on Facebook Live with Spoon University. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.